Kuruluş Osman's use of traditional values in modern storytelling, a deep dive into potential developments in episode 192. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. As we eagerly anticipate the 192nd episode of Kuruluş Osman, the air is thick with speculation and excitement. The journey of Osman Bey from a visionary leader to the founder of a fledgling state has consistently captivated us by weaving intricate plot lines with a profound respect for traditional values. This upcoming episode promises to be no different, likely pushing Osman Bey and the K tribe into new, challenging territories while reinforcing the core tenets of justice, faith, and unity that define the series. Let's delve into some potential developments, analyzing what might be on the horizon without spoiling any confirmed plot points, and explore the deeper meanings behind these narrative choices. What are your initial thoughts on where the story is heading? Be sure to share your theories in the comments below as we explore these possibilities together. One of the most compelling aspects of Kuruluş Osman has always been its portrayal of leadership, particularly Osman Bey's unwavering commitment to his cause, guided by his spiritual mentors and his own deeply held beliefs. As the narrative would have progressed towards a 192nd episode, it's plausible that the challenges to his authority and vision have become even more complex. Could we be seeing Osman Bey grapple with the internal strains of a growing Beylik? Perhaps the integration of new territories and tribes while strengthening his numbers also introduces conflicting customs or ambitions that test the unity of his people. This begs the question, how will Osman Bey utilize the wisdom passed down through generations, the traditional emphasis on consultation, istisar, justice, adalet, and compassion, merhamet, to navigate these intricate internal politics? Might we witness a scenario where a trusted ally, perhaps feeling overlooked or disagreeing with a strategic decision, begins to sow seeds of dissent, not out of outright villainy but from a misguided sense of what is best for the tribe? This kind of nuanced conflict, rooted in differing interpretations of tradition or ambition, is something Kuruluş Osman excels at. How do you think Osman would handle such a delicate situation, especially if it involves someone he holds dear? Your insights on this would be fascinating to read. The external threats are, of course, ever-present and likely to escalate as Osman Bey's influence expands. By episode 192, the Byzantine Empire, or perhaps resurgent Mongol factions or other regional powers, would surely be formulating more sophisticated and insidious plans to halt his advance. Could the upcoming episode feature a new, formidable antagonist, one who perhaps mirrors Osman Bey in intelligence and strategic thinking but lacks his moral compass? This would create a truly compelling dynamic. We might see attempts to not just conquer lands, but to corrupt the very soul of Osman's burgeoning state by exploiting any perceived weaknesses or by trying to turn his own values against him. For instance, could an enemy attempt to use Osman's commitment to justice as a tool for sabotage, framing innocent individuals, or creating situations where any choice he makes leads to undesirable consequences? This would be a true test of his wisdom and his ability to see beyond immediate appearances. What kind of enemy tactics do you foresee unfolding, and how do you think they will reflect the clash between traditional honor-bound warfare and more deceitful strategies? Let us know your predictions in the comments section. Another significant area to consider is the role of family and the continuation of legacy, a cornerstone of traditional values emphasized throughout the series. As Osman Bey's children, particularly Orhan and Alaeddin, come of age, their involvement in the affairs of the state and in military campaigns would naturally increase. Episode 192 could potentially explore the differing paths or developing ideologies of his sons. Might we see Orhan, often depicted as the burgeoning warrior, eager to prove himself but perhaps sometimes lacking the patience or foresight of his father? Could Alaeddin, often shown with a more scholarly or diplomatic inclination, find his own unique way to contribute, perhaps in a manner that initially seems at odds with the warrior ethos but proves equally vital? The series often subtly explores the idea that leadership and service can take many forms, all rooted in the same traditional dedication to faith and community. Perhaps this episode will highlight a situation where the younger generation's approach, while different, complements Osman Bey's established methods or even challenges them in a constructive way. How do you envision the next generation stepping up, and what trials might they face that specifically test their adherence to the K traditions? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Furthermore, the spiritual and mystical elements, deeply interwoven with the traditional values portrayed, are likely to continue to play a crucial guiding role. Characters like Shikibali, or the echoes of his teachings, often provide Osman Bey with the moral clarity and spiritual strength needed to overcome daunting obstacles. Could episode 192 present a crisis so profound that Osman Bey finds himself in desperate need of renewed spiritual guidance? Perhaps a moment of doubt or a significant loss could lead him to seek deeper understanding or reaffirmation of his path. This doesn't necessarily mean a literal appearance, but the principles they've instilled could become a focal point as he navigates a particularly treacherous political or military landscape. The series often uses these moments not just for exposition, but to showcase how deeply faith and tradition inform every critical decision. Are there any specific traditional teachings or Sufi principles you think might be highlighted in the face of new challenges in the upcoming episode? Share your perspectives. The concept of Kizilma, the red apple, symbolizing an ultimate, often distant, objective for Turkish peoples, is a recurring motif. As Osman Bey's state grows, the definition or the immediate next step towards this grand ideal might become a point of contention or renewed focus. Could episode 192 see a renewed declaration or a significant strategic move directly inspired by this ambition? Perhaps a daring campaign is planned or a new alliance sought that is explicitly framed within the context of achieving a major milestone towards this overarching goal. This would not only galvanize his supporters but also serve as a powerful narrative device to remind the audience of the epic scale of Osman's undertaking, grounding his actions in a historical and cultural aspiration that transcends mere conquest. It's this blend of personal struggle, state-building, and adherence to a divinely inspired mission, all underpinned by traditional values, that gives the series its enduring appeal. What do you think the next manifestation of the Kizilma ideal might be in the storyline? Finally, let's consider the narrative technique itself. Kuruluş Osman masterfully uses traditional storytelling elements, tales of heroism, betrayal, sacrifice, and unwavering faith, but presents them through a modern cinematic lens. Episode 192 will likely continue this tradition. Might we see a narrative structure that perhaps mirrors an old epic or a particular challenge that forces characters to embody specific virtues celebrated in traditional tales? The show often creates scenarios where characters are tested on their loyalty, their courage, their patience, and their adherence to their word, all classic components of heroic narratives. Could there be a specific historical event or a traditional anecdote that the writers might subtly weave into the fabric of this upcoming episode, giving it an even deeper layer of meaning for those familiar with the cultural context? It's these layers that make rewatching and discussing the series so rewarding. As we approach episode 192, the possibilities are vast, but the core will undoubtedly remain the same, a story of a people striving to build a just and lasting order, guided by their traditions and their faith in the face of overwhelming odds. The way Kuruluş Osman continues to explore these themes, making them relevant and compelling for a contemporary global audience, is a testament to its narrative strength. The upcoming episode will surely provide more examples of how these timeless values are brought to life. What are you most hoping to see, and which traditional value do you think will be most prominently tested or exemplified? Your engagement and theories enrich our collective experience of the show, so please share your detailed thoughts and predictions in the comments below. We look forward to dissecting the episode with you once it airs.